Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. It's the first Monday of the decade, not even just the new year, but the decade of 2020. And I'm really excited today, you guys. I'm really excited. I love kicking off the year with calls that, rather than giving a best practice, that lead and lend more towards the mindset behind what we're doing and lead us to think differently about the new year as opposed to diving right away with action. I think that's what the majority of people do. They dive in right away on New Year's 1st with action, and they don't have the mindset behind what it takes to actually achieve what it is they're setting out to do. So we're going to talk tonight about mindset. Let me share my screen, and we're actually going to get kicked off with a couple announcements before doing that. Number one, Atomic Habits, the book right here. It's also an audio book. I posted that picture the other day, you guys, on the team page of the Audible version, and Charlie was like, when did you get AirPods? And I was like, I stole that picture off Instagram. I didn't. But it's also available on Audible. I wanted you guys to know that you don't just have to be like Grandma Brit over here. You can also be like part of 2020 with the times, and you can be all tech fancy. And you can get it on your Kindle, you can get it with, your Audible subscription, however it is. Guys, in the chat right now, you might not be doing Atomic Habits with us this month, and that's okay. But in the chat, will you share with everybody what personal development you have committed to for the month of January to kickstart your year? What book are you reading? Okay, and may I suggest, if you had to pause for a second and think about that, if it took you longer than a second to say, here I go, I'm typing my answer, may I suggest that you get in our group with us and read Atomic Habits. It is so good. It's my second time reading it. And honestly, every time I reread a book, I get something from it. So even if you've read it before, maybe in the past, I promise you when you open it with a new lens, with experience under your belt, you're going to see things a whole lot different. Announcement number 2, we've got the Self-Care Sisterhood kicked off, you guys. I'm doing 2020 a little different in the Self-Care Sisterhood. 2020 is a full year group, and I'm changing the theme each month, but I'm never taking people out of the group. I'm never starting the group over. This group is it for 2020, and I'm just going to continue to add people to it. You may have noticed on the team page that I reached out to anyone and everyone on the team and allowed them to drop their email to be added in. Guys, if they're your coach and they're part of Inspire Beauty and they're in your challenge group, but they also reached out and wanted to be a part of the Self-Care Sisterhood, awesome. Like, think about the power of that. They have now double the accountability. Other than just your personal group, they're also involved in another challenge group. You guys, it's a win-win, right? I would love if I had a coach above me saying, hey, let me mentor, let me support, let me guide your people. How can I do that? I'd be like, oh my gosh, here's a million ways, right? So I think, that's something that I want you to really remember, that it's okay if your coaches are in this group. There's no like, I'm stealing your people or anything like that, right? Like, the more the merrier. I want this sisterhood to just keep growing and thriving as 2020 goes on. If you're not in the Self-Care Sisterhood and you've got your own thing going, you're still welcome to be in it. It's maybe a great place for you to get some ideas for your challenge group, be a fly on the wall in there if you need that kind of support. Or if you're not in a challenge group at all and you're not in Self-Care Sisterhood, like, hello, what are you doing with your life? Let's go. Announcement number 3, Super Weekend is this weekend, January 10th, 11th, or 12th. So it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You're going to have to go on to your Coach Online office, and you can click on the events tab, and it'll show Super Weekend. And then you type in your zip code, and you'll be able to find the closest one near you. But guys, live events, they're game changers. They're game changers. And the January Super Weekend is always my ultimate top favorite because aside from Summit, it is the biggest announcement weekend, biggest announcement event you will encounter aside from Summit. Summit, they save tons of announcements for that just because it's so energetic. It's exciting for that. But January, they also announce a lot of things. They'll announce where next year's Success Club trip is going and how you can be a part of it. They will announce, they'll probably have new program announcements, guaranteed new product announcements. There is a new BOD groups coming. So my challenge tracker is kind of getting a facelift, and it's BOD groups. That's coming down the pipeline. If you're like, what is that? I've never even heard of it. then get yourself to a super weekend, because I guarantee we'll talk about that too. And last but not least, I don't know if you can see it behind here, but Team Cup is coming back in February. Team Cup is a small, fun way to just, push each other, achieve goals, help one another, and just have a team surrounding you to kind of push you each month doing that. And so that's coming in February, but enrollment is actually already open for that. And one other announcement that's not on here, but it's important to note, is that things have shifted. There's some new updates on our team for 2020. Going into 2020, I got rid of our Rising Stars Emerald Plus page. I got rid of that Emerald Plus page. We turned it into, it's just an archived page now. You can go there and access the resources if you were a part of it. But now what I've decided for 2020 is I have a business collaborative page, okay? And the word business sometimes scares people. Coaches, if you're trying to help other people in some way, shape, or form, then you have a business. So own it, right? Let's get around being nervous about that word. Whatever level of business you have, whether it's you just want to help one person, or you want to help enough people to hit Success Club, or you're trying to build an empire, wherever you fall on the spectrum, this page is for you, and you're welcome there. There's no rank, requirement to join. There's no Success Club points to join. There's no requirement to join other than, Brittany, I want to move the needle forward on my business, on helping other people in 2020. And this is the page for you. The Business Collaborative page, it's linked on our team page, so make sure you find it. Some of you guys who were in our Emerald Plus page haven't transitioned over into that Business Builder page, and I truly hope that you will. There's just going to be a lot of good stuff happening over there throughout the year. And then our Emerald Plus calls will still remain, but they're part of now the team page. So if you want to be a part of our Tuesday night calls at the same time every Tuesday, then you got to rank advance to Emerald. You got to get U+2. And that's not hard, you guys. You could literally sign up a spouse and a BFF tonight and be Emerald and be done with it and be a part of our Tuesday night calls. And I want you there, because that's where we talk more business. We get a little bit more in depth with your questions and your answers. You get a little bit more of me face-to-face, one-on-one. And so I think it's important. I think that's important. It's less of like you being talked at and more of you getting a chance to ask me questions that maybe you're needing help with in your business, okay? Let's get into it, shall we? First thing I want to talk about, you guys, I know we just finished a new year, not a new year. We just finished an old year. What do you even call it? A past year. We just finished 2019. And I know at the end of the year, my last home stretch of our Zooms, and my last push with you guys going in November and December, even with October Team Challenge, was talking about in the last quarter of the year that how we finish 2019 matters to set us up for success for 2020. That is true. That is 100% true, and I will stand behind that. But I also believe that how you start matters as well, okay? So if you finish 2019, last quarter of the year, and you don't feel great about your progress, or maybe you stalled out at the end, or maybe something happened, or you missed a goal, or right? Like, we all have our things. Maybe you fell short of something at the end of the year. A lot of times, the mindset can be, well, I already missed this, so I might as well just quit or stop or forget about it. And that isn't the right mentality to get into this new year, because how you're starting right now in 2020 matters so much, maybe more so than how you finish this year. So I have a couple tips for you guys. Let me see if I can close this a little bit so we can see the full thing. I think that's better. A couple tips for you about how to start the year strong. This will be my sixth year starting a new year as a Beachbody coach. So I've gone through 6 new year, new you groups, 6 of these, 6 of my team saying, this is what I'm going to do this year, 6 first team calls of the year where everyone's fired up, right? 6 of these I've been through. And I wanted to compile some things that right now, in this moment, tonight, you can do to set yourself up for starting 2020 strong. First of all, you can print out 52 copies of your Success Club System Business Activity Tracker and go to, I'm going to date myself, but I call it FedEx Kinko's. I don't even know what it's called anymore, but that's what I still call it. Go there and get it bound. It costs $5 maybe to do that, but Here's the deal. When you print out one copy for this week, you're telling yourself, you're telling your team, you're telling everyone around you, I'm going to try this for a week. If you only print out 4 copies, you're telling yourself, subliminally, like you're not telling yourself out loud, I'm sure you're not, but the message you're sending to yourself when you only print out 4 and they are not professional looking, they're just scrap pieces of paper flying around, is you're saying, I'm going to try this for 4 weeks and we'll see. But when you have the audacity to print out 52 copies and go march your little buns to FedEx Kinko's and pay to have it spiral bound and look real professional, chances are you're going to use that way more than 1 week of the year. Way more than 1 week of the year. So I dare you, if you're serious about 2020, print 52 copies and get them spiral bound so that you have it with you everywhere you go. Number 2, plan out your first quarter. Plan out January, February, March. Those first 3 months of the year, what groups are you running? Get calendars out in front of you. Get your planner out in front of you and figure out, when is your start date of your January group? Did it already start? Cool. When's your start date of your February group? When's your start date of your March group? Are there other things you're offering, like free groups? Maybe you're doing a 3-day, clean eating or something to kickstart into inviting for your next group. When are you inviting to the coaching opportunity? Is that even a part of your calendar? And if it's not, a question I want to ask you is why? Why not? Why is coaching not a part of your invite process yet challenge groups are, right? They should coexist in a perfect harmony, in a perfect world, because you're here, you find value in the coaching opportunity, you find value in our team, so why the heck would somebody else not, right? Oftentimes it's our own limiting beliefs, or it's our own small ways of thinking that are holding us back. Our insecurities hold us back from actually owning what we have to offer people, right? So make sure that you're set up for success. It doesn't have to be super detailed. You don't have to have all the ins and outs, but have a general idea of what group you're running. When does it start? When are you inviting to the coaching opportunity? The other one is, what rank or SC goals do you have for each month? Are you working to hit a minimum of SC5 January, February, March? Maybe you're trying to up that this year. Maybe last year you got comfortable with 5 in some places, so you want to up it. Or maybe last year you never really hit Success Club at all, so your goal is to at least help 1 person each month, right? Like, what does that look like for you? And rank goals. If you're sitting here at the top of 2020 and you've been on our team for over a year and you're still at the same rank, why? What's holding you back? It's time to set some rank goals and stretch yourself. If you're newer on the calls, meaning you haven't been here a full year, then where are you right now? What's the next rank you could achieve? And how can you make that happen, right? What trainings can you get into? How can you talk to your upline coach for support? All the things, right? But what rank goals do you have? There's no reason why by March of 2020, 3 months from now, you can't be Emerald if you're coach. There's no reason in March, if you're an Emerald coach right now, you can't be Diamond. Trust me, I've seen people make it happen real quick in their businesses. Coaches on your team, your fellow teammates, have rank advanced in shorter times. So it's possible, but you have to have a strategy behind it. And so if you're serious, if you're like, you know what, Brittany, Diamond is a goal of mine. I want to be Diamond by Summit. Well, let's be Diamond by March. By the end of Q1, let's be Diamond, right? Because then even if you fall short, at least you'll have stretched yourself enough so that by Summit, you most definitely will be Diamond, right? Next one, be involved with your team. Obviously tonight you're on this team call, be involved. The chat box is open, right? You're taking notes, you're tuned in, you're listening. Be involved when you're on these calls. This isn't Netflix, right? Like you're not mindlessly watching this. And this isn't a meeting at your job where you're forced to sit here. You chose to be on the call tonight. You're choosing to listen to the recording if that's the case. So be involved. Be present where you are. And then tell your family your goals and the commitments that you're then going to have. So if your goal is to, rank advance or to be Diamond by Summit, or I want to be able to start running my own challenge groups and helping people the way that I was helped, maybe you want to pay it forward in 2020. Well, then you have to tell the people around you what that commitment is going to have to look like, because that doesn't look like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a broken record, but attend a super weekend near you is a great way to kick off the year strong, getting around like-minded people. Commit to joining a Team Cup team. If you're like, I don't even know what a Team Cup team is, say yes. I've never led you to like jumping off a bridge before, and I never will. Everything I encourage you to do is healthy to stretch you in this business. So if you've never been on a Team Cup, reach out. Let's get you on a Team Cup team. Okay, and the last one, here's a really great pro tip. If you're not registered for Summit, register for it. Because again, just like printing out those 52 copies, you not being registered for Summit right now is telling yourself somewhere in the back of your mind, I might not be here by July. I might not be a part of this team by July. But if you register for Summit, all of a sudden you're telling yourself, this is all about mindset tonight, you guys. All of a sudden, you now have a mindset that I will be here in July. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in this. I'm invested. This is the other thing. If you are registered for Summit, do you have it on your calendar? Is it marked in big, bold, marker, Sharpie, highlighter letters in your calendar? I hope it is. Because what I've seen in the past, again, I'm speaking from 6+ years of experience, that what I see as we get closer and closer and closer to Summit is people start to retreat further and further and further back. So if you're already registered, don't break that promise to yourself. Don't waste that money you invested on yourself, right? Mark it on your calendar. Tell everybody, including whoever you need to tell for work, whoever you need to tell who's got to watch the kids, whoever you need to tell because you need to get a ride, start budgeting for it, all those things. Register and get it on your calendar so that it's non-negotiable. Okay, we're diving in. That was kind of diving in. But now we're really diving in to some I am statements. So a new year, you guys, when a new year strikes, it's this like weird place that I find myself in, because I'm no longer that person that's like, new year, new me, and I swear like by 2019, life is only going to get better from here. I'm no longer that girl that used to do that. But I also still love the nostalgia of a new year and a new season and just how good it feels to have a fresh, clean slate in front of us when it comes to the calendar. And just the idea of the opportunities that are ahead of you, right? But a new year doesn't mean that things will all of a sudden just start to go your way and change. If you're looking for something to level up or to change, essentially, in your business, in your self-care, in your mindset, it doesn't just happen because the clock strikes midnight. And I think I'm in good company with you guys that we all know that. But I want to remind you of that the clock changing doesn't mean it just happens. What happens between now and the end of the year, it all starts with your mindset. And so I don't want you to have this new year mindset. I want you to have a new year mindset. I want you to have the kind of mindset that's like, no, I'm not doing things the same way because that didn't work before. That's not serving me. I want you to have the mindset that when you fall down, you'll get back up. I want you to have the kind of mindset that's in it for the journey, that understands that things will happen. Someone near to you will get sick or will pass away, and it's going to be challenging. That's called life. Some of you guys are going to move or relocate or sell your house, have to pack everything up. That's called life. You might have a baby this year, or get pregnant, or meet the love of your life, or divorce the love of your life. Heaven forbid. I'm not putting that energy out there for any of you guys. But again, this is life. The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs. The coolest part about this business is it fits into your life. It fits into your life. You don't have to fit your life into coaching. Coaching can fit right into where you are today and wherever the new year takes you. So I've got some I am statements. I've just got 5. And these are the mantras. These are the mindsets that I want you to kind of ingest and digest and just let them become who you are this year. So the first one is I am consistent. And when I say consistent, I mean with your business actions. It goes back to, are you printing off 52 trackers and getting it spiral bound because you know you're going to consistently show up? Or is it, I'm just going to print out one and see how it goes? Right? Is it, I'm getting on this first call of the year because it's so exciting because Brittany said it's the new year call and like, I got to show up to the first one, right? Because like, who would I be if I didn't? But then next week, all of a sudden, somebody wants to go out to dinner and so you have to skip, right? Or are you consistent? Consistent business actions, your social media presence. I was really surprised, you guys, when I was looking for you guys in December to be inspired by you. You guys inspire me on social media, by the way. I hope you know that. When I open up my phone and I see your pictures, when I see your captions, when I get to see your journeys through your lens and through your unique voice, it inspires me. And I opened up my phone more often than not in December to say, where are they? Where is she? She hasn't posted since. And it's neither here nor there for me because I'm not your boss and I'm not like a post Nazi that's like trying to tell you, you didn't post, right? But if you really are trying to have this mindset that this is your year, you got to get consistent. You got to get consistent in your social media presence. Side note on that, by the way, there are 3 people this week that I am enrolling. 2 of them I've already enrolled and 1 other I'm prepping to enroll, who all came to me because their coaches are gone. The person who stays consistent, the person who sticks it out, they're the one who wins. I don't win because I'm like super talented or super, like gifted in something that you guys can't be gifted in. The skills I've developed are because I've just shown up consistently and developed them over time, right? That's all it is. It's consistency. And then I just said it already, but team calls. Consistency though, not just on team calls, you guys, but how about the team page? When I go to the team page or I go to the Level Up Business Builder collaboration page or 2020 Biz Collab page, when I go there and I scroll, if I see Brittany Frost, Brittany Frost, Brittany Frost, Brittany Frost, Brittany Frost, I want to gouge my freaking eyeballs out. Do you guys want to gouge your eyeballs out when the only posts you ever see are from me? I do. I want to gouge my stinking eyeballs out. I want to see you guys. I want to hear from you. You guys have value to add, and you are selling yourself so short on what you can offer our team. You think that I'm offering this great thing. You guys, the other day I held up my Energize and I said, where are my weekend warriors out? Is there anyone on this call that can't do that? Y'all have 2 thumbs that can text. Y'all have a cup you can put Energize in, and y'all are fully capable on a weekend to do the same thing. It's no magic thing that like I've been deemed, this person that can then go on the team page and say, where are my weekend warriors at? No, I'm trying to wake up the team. And you guys are all fully capable of doing that as well, right? Especially when you start stepping into leadership roles where the team is not just Brittany's personally sponsored coaches, but as well, yours as well, right? So not just being consistent on team calls, but are you consistent? Are you willing to be consistent on the team page? I am consistent is the mindset I want you to foster in 2020. Next one, I am intentional. Okay, so you're consistent, but let's be intentional with how we spend our time. If you open your phone right now and you go to settings, the iPhone, if you have an Android, like I'm just not even talking to you. I don't know what decade you're living in because obviously in 2020, everyone's an iPhone user. Kayla, I think you still have an Android, don't you? No? Are you an iPhone user now, Kayla? Oh my gosh. We've all been saved. On the iPhone, if you go under settings, you can go to screen time. And when you go into screen time, you can see your hours that you're on your phone, and you can see all the activity. All the activity. If you open up, I challenge you right now, like this is like one and only time I'm going to tell you pull out your phone and be on your phone while I'm talking on a team call. But pull out your phone, go to settings, click on screen time, click on see activity, and then just scroll down because it'll show you most used. Is anyone wanting to vomit yet as you look at your time? As you look at your Instagram, your Facebook. I don't know if any of you guys are Twitterers out there. I'm not, but maybe that's a thing for you. I don't know. It might shock you. Now, for me, I have been on social media on my phone 4 hours today. I was very intentional with every moment I was on social media today. I didn't buy anything. I'm very proud of myself. Winning today. But I sent out a lot of invites, a lot of follow-up messages. I was really intentional with how I was going into the team pages and answering questions for people who had been messaging me and just posting all the things, right? And connecting with other people. I was very intentional. So I was on my phone, on my social media for 4 hours today. And I can say that probably of those 4 hours that none of it was scrolling. Okay. But today, if you are looking at your action tracker, and you look at this and it says you've been on social media for 4 hours, but your action tracker has nothing checked off, you are not intentional with your social media usage. We have the time, you guys. It's that we waste it in other places. Intentionality, my friends, I was thinking about this. I'm like, this is genius. Intentionality is how you lose excuses. When we have excuses like I don't have time, or life's been hard, or this happened, or I'm trying to transition with this, or whatever your thing is that your reason. And guys, I'm not knocking anything. Your reasons though, and I'm going to be the one that loves you enough to say this, sometimes your reasons, you are using those in place of excuses. You're pretending that they're reasons, but really they're excuses, just kind of fancied up. So this is how we remove those excuses, is saying intentional. I'm going to be intentional, so that we can't say, oh my gosh, like imagine you guys in August when I moved from California to Texas. And imagine in that time, all of a sudden I just fell off for 3 weeks. And then 3 weeks later, I came back to the team page and was like, oh my gosh, you guys, life is crazy right now. I moved across the country. I'm trying to like get situated in a new town. I'm trying to like navigate all these new things and my schedule and da-da-da-da. Life is crazy. You guys would be like, cool, Britt, but like, what about us, right? Like I don't think you would read it the same way as if the way you want it to be read when the same thing happens to you, right? The reason I was able to move across the country and not skip a beat was because I was intentional, right? I didn't allow other things that didn't need my attention to steal it, okay? So what I want you guys to know though with intentionality is that I've walked your path. Maybe not your exact path, maybe not your exact shoes, maybe not like there's certain walks of life like motherhood I have not walked yet, but I've walked similar paths to the majority of you guys. And I've built a business along the way that I can be really proud of at the end of the day, because I know I was intentional. Doesn't mean I hit my milestones or I achieved what I set out to achieve. It just means I can be proud because I was intentional about the time I spent working on it and what I did with it. And so when I say I've walked your path and I get it, I really truly mean that. But I believe that we overestimate our day-to-day. We're like, oh, today I'm going to crush this, or in January I'm going to crush this. And we underestimate what you can achieve in a year. Let me say that again, because my dog's barking. I hope you can hear this. We overestimate our day-to-day, but we underestimate our year. We get into January, we've got this big plan. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And that's like this crazy mindset, but we're not realistic that in January, I'm not going to actually maybe achieve that, but I'm going to start taking the action steps towards getting to it at some point. So that by the end of the year, we get to the end of the year and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like I freaking did all that. It's because you're intentional. One last note on consistency and intentionality is, and I'm going to share this a little bit more in depth on the team page, but I love this business. As a former teacher, I never got a raise. I was a teacher for 10 years, if you can believe that. For 10 years, I came in and they put a cap on my salary and they did not allow me a raise for 10 years. For 10 years. In this business, there's no cap on your raise. And when I got serious about my business, the first year that I was consistent and serious, the following year, I gave myself an $11,000 raise. And the following year after that, another $11,000 raise. And the following year after that, you guys, this year, I gave myself, it's been 3 years now that I've been like, I'm serious about what I'm doing and I haven't let off. 3 years of consistency. I gave myself another $12,000 raise just this year. Myself, I decided, because I wanted to work harder. I wanted more for my family. And my goal this year, and I shared it on our Business Builder page, and I will share it right here with you guys as well, is my goal, number one, is this is the year that I will go as a 6-figure earner in this company. I will have met 6 figures in this company in my tenure. That's going to happen. That's not a goal. That's just inevitable. That's going to happen. The goal, though, I want to give myself a $20,000 raise. What, guys, what would $11,000 extra dollars do for your wallet this year? And I'm Brittany Frost, like your neighborhood BFF. Like, you guys know me. I'm not special. I'm not anything different than you guys. You are capable of it. You're capable of all that. I'm not on the National Wake Up Call. I'm not rolling in the, top coach of the year stuff. Like, you don't have to be there to make a big dent in the impact you make in your family's life. I just recreated my January board, and I have a picture of Charlie and Frankie on there and big words that say my why with arrows pointing to them, because they are the reason I show up every day. Because I want a legacy in our family. I want to be able to do stuff with our family. I want big things for my family. And that's why I show up. And nobody can take that away from you. But that comes with consistency, you guys, and being intentional with your behaviors. Okay. Third mindset shift. I am an overcomer. Okay, so you're consistent. You're intentional. But newsflash, I got bad news. Failure is on the way. You're going to mess up. Someone's going to tell you no. Somebody's going to be annoyed that you posted a sweaty selfie again. Somebody's going to say, I don't want to be in your group. Stop messaging me. Somebody's going to ghost you. Somebody's going to join your group and then return their challenge pack. Somebody's going to join as a coach and then decide they don't want to be a coach and cancel their coaching. Guys, it's going to happen. I feel like you guys should be so at ease now because I've already given you the end of the story. It's going to happen. But you're an overcomer. You are an overcomer. That is the new mindset you need this year, is that you're an overcomer, that failure is the way. Failure is the way to success, you guys. There's no way around it. You will fail at something. And the best part is failure is the best teacher, because we can learn from what we make mistakes on so that we can come back and do it better the next time. What a shame if you let maybe your invite process is just not refined yet. Maybe you haven't had enough practice or skill at it yet to know the best way to invite people and to have that conversation back and forth with them. Maybe you haven't figured that groove out yet. And so you're going to let one person tell you no, and then you don't have a chance to try and do it better? That makes no sense to me. One of the reasons I can't stink and give up this business is because we've never hit elite, you guys. And I refuse to quit Beachbody until I can freaking figure out how to hit elite with our team. You won't see me go anywhere until our team hits elite, and then we'll hit elite and I can't go anywhere because we'll be so on fire. It'll be so exciting. But this is the year I'm we need to figure out how to hit elite. It can't be that hard. There's so many coaches that do it. Why not me? Why not us? Every year that I don't hit it, I hunger to hit it more and more and more. Every time I fail at not hitting that goal, I'm well, now I got to try again. It's part of the process, you guys. And the thing is, too, I want you to remember this, that you build so many characteristics when you encounter obstacles that you will never build when you are successful. It's kind of like the whole idea that the reason that we have to have a God is because if we got everything we needed right when we asked for it, there wouldn't be a need for that, right? And so one of the reasons we have to hope in something is because we don't have everything we need right in front of us, right? But the same thing's kind of true for our success. If we are always successful, there are a lot of character skills that I don't think you develop. When we fail, we learn how to build grit. We build resilience, determination, perseverance. You build empathy. When I can empathize with you guys on so many levels because I've walked through the pain of it. When you're oh my gosh, I just got my 10th cancellation in the mail. I'm I feel you on a soul deep level. I can feel you on that because I've encountered it. It also builds leadership, you guys, because now as a leader, you understand what it's like to go through things so you can help guide and support and mentor people as they're going through those same things you went through. You don't build those things when you're just in a snap successful. Your expectations of 2020 are going to determine your experience of the year. And I know that unmet expectations are often our biggest disappointments. I'm going to say that again. Unmet expectations will be your biggest disappointments. When you think something's going to happen, for example, if you tell yourself, I'm going to hit Success Club this month, and then the Success Club doesn't happen, that expectation doesn't happen, you will then be disappointed because it was unmet, right? But what if we flipped this year? What if instead of the expectation being the goal, what if your expectations were the actions? So instead of being like disappointed because you didn't hit Success Club, what if you were disappointed because you didn't show up to your business every day? Because your expectation was to do the action. If you do the actions, you'll get the goals, right? So this year, I am an overcomer. I am evolving. So we're consistent with our actions. We're intentional with our actions. We overcome when obstacles, we lean into it, we press into it, we like get closer to our tribe when we face resistance, right? But we also have to evolve. I wrote down, how sad would it be to get to 2021 and realize that you're still stuck trying to solve the same problem? Think about that. We did a really great series, if you missed it, in December, all about getting ready, goal setting for the new year and all this stuff. And we went through a quiz that was part of book club from December as well. And the quiz kind of rated us with where we were in all different areas of life, and so that we could set goals in those areas. And I said, I don't care if you have like a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 1 in your marriage. What I care about is if in your spiritual journey it's a big fat 0. It's like not applicable because it doesn't even exist. That's scary to me. That's scarier to me than having a 4 in another area, is to just have an area that completely doesn't exist. So in our evolution of ourselves, number one, taking that quiz is a great way to see where you are and where certain areas maybe you could tend to draw some more attention or focus in the year. But if you get to the end of the year and you're still stuck at the same problem that you can't complete a workout program, well, that, to me, that's just the saddest part. If you're still stuck, if a year later, if this time a year ago you were complaining that social media was challenging for you and you don't know how to, post on social media, and it's a year later, 2020, and you're still stuck on social media, are you scratching your head with me? What about inviting? If you're fearful of inviting, or if you're confused about inviting, or if you feel like you're not practicing enough inviting, how sad would it be to get to the end of the year and realize that you're still stuck trying to invite people? Like, let's evolve this year. Let's get better this year. Let's pinpoint the areas where we are not strong and say, it's okay, but now I can own it and get stronger. I can evolve. I can rank advance, right? I can evolve past coach. I can evolve past emerald. Evolve past that. The other thing too is everything, we read about this last year, but everything is figure outable, you guys. Google University is your BFF. So if you're like, man, I am stuck with inviting, or I am stuck with how do I rank advance, guys, get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. Like, everything is out there for free. Everything's out there for free. Last one. I am worthy. And I'm not going to take too long on this one, but I want you to let this soak in. You can be consistent. You can be intentional. You can be an overcomer, right? You can rebound back up. You can evolve. But if you don't believe that you are worthy of achieving the goals that other people are achieving, that you're inspired by them, like, oh man, I see her do that. I would love to do that. Or I see her, she got that, and I want to try that. Oh my God, that trip she got invited to, I want to be on that trip. But if you don't believe that you're actually capable and worthy of it, then none of it will matter. The other 4 won't matter if we don't take this truth and really, really breathe this into ourselves. So I'm hoping, you guys, that these 5 I am statements are things that you can keep near you. Make like screen, phone, wallpaper savers out of them, whatever you need to do, but have them on the front of your 52-page spiral bound business activity tracker thingy, right? Like wherever you need to put these, have these in front of you to remind you, right? That it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's not just about the way you show up on the first Monday of January. It's not about the way you show up in January. It's about the way you are consistent through the year, the way you're intentional, although in August. Are you going to be intentional in August with me? I hope so. Are you going to be an overcomer with me in November? Are you going to be evolving with me in March? Can we still be consistent together in October? Well, we believe we're worthy come the end of this year, right? So all those throughout the whole year, not just today, not just this week, not just this month, but the whole stinking year. And that's it, guys. That's all I got.